If I told you there was one practice that could protect your marriage from the toxic effects of conflict, reduce your chances of divorce, and make you both happier, even during some of your worst moments, would you want to know what it is? Well, stay with me because what I'm about to share is backed by decades of research and, if practiced regularly, could literally save your relationship. Hi, I'm Dr. Mathis Kennington, and for the last 18 years, I have helped couples deepen their intimacy, rekindle their passion, and live more meaningful lives. Today, what I want to share with you might sound a little bit too simple. The science, though, behind it is completely undeniable. And what I'm talking about is gratitude, but not that surface level, thanks for taking out the trash kind of gratitude. I'm talking about a specific practice that researchers at the University of Georgia found was not one of, the most powerful predictor of marriage success. More powerful than communication skills, more powerful than compatibility, and more powerful than conflict resolution. Here's what happens in most marriages. We start by seeing our partner through rose-colored glasses. We put our best foot forward. We appreciate almost everything about them. But then life happens, kids, work stress, bills, arguments, etc. And slowly, we stop seeing the good in them and we start focusing on what's wrong. At some point in your relationship, those things that used to charm you or used to feel endearing to you now begin to chafe at you a little bit. For men, society tells you your worth comes from achievement, making it hard to show vulnerability and appreciation. For women, you're expected to be available and grateful while your own needs get overlooked constantly. This creates a toxic cycle where both partners feel unseen and unappreciated. But this is a practice that is borne out in research and anecdotally in my own work with couples and in my own marriage. Couples who practice gratitude are undeniably happier than couples who don't. Dr. Alan Barton did a study of 468 married couples and found that gratitude was the only factor that protected marriages from the damaging effects of poor communication and financial stress. So think about that for a second. Even when couples are terrible at fighting fair, gratitude acts like a buffer or a shield. The University of California, Berkeley found something even more incredible. When one partner feels appreciated, it creates what they call this cycle of generosity. I see all the time that people can get locked up in different feedback loops of conflict. Well, the good thing is it works the same way in the other direction. You feel valued and validated, so you value your partner more. They feel appreciated, so they show more appreciation. It becomes this upward kind of spiral. One study that is really well known is the studies done by the Gottman Institute. The Gottman Institute famously found that you need a 5-to-1 positive to negative interaction ratio to keep a marriage healthy. But here's the cool thing about gratitude. Gratitude doesn't just count as one positive interaction. It actually is exponentially more positive than just one interaction. So it acts as like a positive interaction multiplier. The more gratitude that you show, the more they want to do things worthy of receiving gratitude. So how do you actually do this? Here is the exact practice that transforms marriages. First, you need to come up with a practice of both recognizing, identifying, and then expressing out loud things that you appreciate about your partner, not just what they did, but who they are. That's a big difference. You can say thank you for something that they did, making the bed, doing the dishes, cooking a great meal, but showing gratitude for who your partner is requires your careful observation. My wife's mindfulness about things that really matter to me is something that my ADHD brain really has a hard time figuring out. But what I know I can do is make sure she understands how much I appreciate that. So make sure that when you are practicing gratitude, not just recognizing, not just expressing it, that you're looking for character. Don't just thank them for doing the dishes. Thank them for being the kind of person who cares enough to take a burden off of your plate. Finally, the fourth piece of this, I cannot overemphasize the benefits. Appreciate your partner during conflict, not just the good times. So one of the easiest and simplest ways that you can do this is you can say to your partner during a fight, I really don't like what you're saying. I don't like how you've talked to me. I disagree with you about this, but I do appreciate that you've hung in there with me to have the conversation. My clients are always asking me for tools. This is a tool. Lock it in, memorize it. When you're in an argument, thank your partner for hanging in there, even though you feel hurt maybe by some of the things that they've said. This acts as a conflict de-escalation tool, and it also has the added benefit of just being another practice of gratitude. Your marriage is worth fighting for, but you don't have to fight alone. Start with gratitude and start today. If you still hung around this far, subscribe for more research-backed advice. Thank you, and I'll see you next time.